Well, we're banned from ever using that broker again. All right, guys, so get this. I'm at MRC Global in LaPorte, Texas. On my way here, I was cut off by a woman in a white car. She slammed on her brakes, right? I'm in a truck with a trailer. So I pull up next to her and I flip her off. Well, we show up to deliver this pipe that we have, and I went on the other side. They said I had to go to the shipping office because this is where they unload all the pipe. And guess who's working here? It's the woman that cut me off. She's refusing to unload me. She crumpled up my piece of paper and threw it at me. So we're waiting on a supervisor right now. Whew, I get them all. I get them all. I can't wait. And there she is right here. That's the woman right there. That's right. Woo! So they got the highest supervisor up that they could, and the supervisor says he has a CDL and he completely understands. At first they tried to say that I brought it into the workplace. They're like, well, that happened out there. I was like, no, it happened out there, but she brought it into here. Because when I walked in the office and I handed her the piece of paper to get unloaded, that's when she brought it into here. Because she's like, oh, yeah, you remember me? And then flicked me off, because that's what I did. I pulled up next to her and flipped her off after she cut me off and slammed on the brakes. I'm so fucking pissed off right now. You know, these fucking people in these cars think they can just pull in front of a truck and it's no big deal. Bullshit. I'm gonna have that bitch's job. She brought it here. I don't know. They said that they're gonna take care of her. I don't know what that means. But I don't care if I burn every single bridge we have out here. I will not be spoken to and treated the way these people think they can just treat these drivers. I don't even care. I will burn that bridge. So the plan now is to go find somewhere I can buy some oil and an oil filter, get the oil change in this, and then where are we going?
Grand Prairie, Texas.
Grand Prairie. So we got a little bit of a deadhead, but it'll get us out of Texas. So, boy, I made a shit show in there, man. She's gonna crumple up the paperwork and throw it at me and say she's not gonna unload me. I got you. You got unloaded, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
She thinks she was something because she was working behind the desk. She don't know I'm not one just to sit back and take it. Man, I seen red. I don't know if I've been this mad in a very long time. I've sat at shippers and receivers for days and not been this mad. You gonna tell me, oh, she's like, yeah, I walked up there. She's like, you here to drop or pick up? I was like, yep. She's like, remember me? And flicked me off. And it took me a second to realize. I was like, what the, why is she flipping me off? And she's like, yeah, you flipped me off back there at the light. I was like, oh, so you're the person who cut in front of me. I said, I'm here to get unloaded. And she took the piece of paper, she threw it back at me. She said, I'm not unloading you. I said, and threw it back at her. I said, yes, you are. I said, I went to the other side, and the other side, I had said I had to come over here to unload. And she's like, threw it back at me. I'm not unloading you. I said, threw it back at her again. I said, yes, you are. And then she goes, get out of here. I was like, fuck you. Get me your supervisor. Yeah. Did you see all the people that showed up?
Yeah.
There was like 15 people that showed up.
Yeah.
Think I'm gonna put up with that shit. Well, we drove down the road a little bit and found a Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm hoping some sweet Dunkin' Donuts will calm me down, because I am heated, man. You know what? Everybody thinks that us drivers, we're just pawns in this whole thing, and they can just write us off. It's no big deal. Oh, he's just a driver. No, it is a big deal. I hope I cost that woman her job. I really do. I hope she's fired. You know, it's one thing to cut someone off. Yeah, we'll flip each other off. It is what it is. But when you bring it to a place where I'm trying to deliver or pick up or your job site after it was you that fucked up, and you're gonna bring it and tell me you're not gonna unload me because I flipped you off? Who are you, right? I wish you could have been there, Lita. It was ridiculous.
I wouldn't have made it any better.
No, but you could have seen. Are they saying I'm in a no parking zone? Or, oh, it's the middle part. Okay, let's get some Dunkin'. Here's my luck. They're not even open. They're building the Dunkins, dude. Look at this. They're building the Dunkins. I can't even get Dunkin' Donuts. There you go. There you go. What are the odds? What are the odds? Whew, I'm heated. All right, so we went down the road. We're in Walmart parking lot right now. I'm getting ready to change the oil. And my boy calls me up and says, hey, what's going on? I just got a call from the broker. And she said, I apologize, but we can't use you anymore. And I didn't tell him the story. He has no idea what was going on. And he's like, I think you have the wrong number. She's like, no, this is Mason, right? You dispatched for South Georgia Hot Shot. And he's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I guess you guys had an altercation over there this morning, and I'm just calling to let you know that we can't use you anymore. So I just got off the phone with one of the higher ups, and he's pushing it even higher. And I'm waiting on a phone call back now from the company. So if I'm gonna lose that broker, she's gonna lose her job. I don't feel I was in the wrong here, and I won't put up with it. So I don't know. Like I said, we're changing the oil, and after this we'll continue on up to our next pickup and be ready for the morning. So I'll keep you guys updated. Well, we're banned from ever using that broker again. I'll put up on the screen the emails. Let's walk down this way, guys. So we're in Grand Prairie, Texas, at a place called Triumph. Pretty sure they make some type of airplane parts. This is the load that's going to be taking us to Florida, which I'm seriously regretting now because my grandpa's not doing very good, and it looks like we're probably going to have to take this down to Florida and then immediately go up to Ohio. Man, I hope it's not windy. I didn't bring the windsock. So yeah, so the broker basically sent us the paperwork that I'll show on the screen, or the email, saying that we're no longer allowed to pull for TA. They don't care that what happened. Basically, they heard we cut her off, and that, golly, it's so windy. Let me go get this thing. Actually, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. We're trying to find a porta potty for tonight, just in case we need one. They're allowing us to park right here for now. He said as soon as they close the gate, I can move out and I can pull right in front of the gate. So that seems a little crazy, huh? But we're just looking for a bathroom, so just in case we have to use one tonight. They've got some construction going on over here. All right, hopefully this windsock helps. So basically, while we're at Walmart, my boy called me up and he's like, what is going on? I was like, what are you talking about? He said, somebody is blowing up my phone telling me to get control of my driver. I was like, what? Yeah, they're saying that that you cut off one of their employees and flipped them off and then threw a bunch of paperwork at him. I was like, wow, that's completely not what happened. And then a little bit later, he said they called him again and said that that I was upset because I got fired. And my boy was like, he got fired? And they're like, yeah, he got fired. And my boy's like, he owns the company. And the woman doesn't speak very good English, so I don't think she really registered the two things together. But Yeah, so we're banned from ever pulling from TA Service. What is the name? TA Services again. I think we've pulled from them a few times. Honestly, they have cheap freight, so I don't really care. But it's the whole principle about the whole thing. I called one of the numbers for the company. He was supposed to push it up the chain. Honestly, I think he pushed it to that part of the building, and I think she got wind of it. And maybe she contacted the broker again. So I don't know. You know, like I spoke to a supervisor when I was there. He's like, I completely understand. I have my CDLs myself. I can't stand it when cars pull in front of me. And I told him, it's like, you know, I probably stepped out of line by flipping her off. She flipped me off the same. And it was her that brought it into what it is now. Like, she could have just not mentioned it ever again when she noticed me. Yes, she mentioned it to me in the office, flipped me off, crumpled up the paperwork, and threw it at me. So, you know, I feel like she was the one in the wrong. I can kind of see why the brokers are kind of had this attitude that, you know, screw the driver. This is a customer of ours. We can find another driver, even if the driver's correct, but we're not going to risk losing this customer. So that's basically what's happened. They basically thrown us to the wolves, and as expected, you know, I wouldn't expect anything else different. It is what it is. It's whatever, you know. There's more brokers out there, just like they have the attitude that there's more drivers out there. It's the same company. When we were sitting in North Carolina, there was a load that was going 300 miles, and they had it on the board for 500. And we called up and said, we'll do it for 600. And they said, nope, price is firm, 500. So a little bit later, it went up to 550. So my boy called in. He said, we'll do it for 600. And they're like, nope, 550 firm. We're not going up. A little bit later, 600. The boy called in, said, okay, we'll do it for 600. And they're like, nope, we just gave it away. And my boy was like, so you'll give it to somebody for 600, but you wouldn't give it to us for 600 earlier. And they're like, it is what it is, whatever. Next thing you know, it's back on the board again for 500. And they did that a few times throughout the day. So, hope we're walking the right way. We're on our way to like a bar restaurant place that's supposed to be like 0.68 miles down this way. This is Lockheed Martin. They're right next to Triumph where we're picking up. And this is the first broker that we've had to fill out like a whole bunch of COVID paperwork for.
It's not the broker, it's Triumph.
Oh, it's Triumph making us do it. They basically want to know where we've been, who we've been in contact with,
What states we've been in.
what states we've been in, do we feel like we're sick, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But there's no parking in Texas. The parking sucks. All the truck stops have terrible reviews. We went to a truck stop before this. What was it called? Some barbecue place. Texas Smokehouse. They got like a little restaurant next to their fuel pumps. And, you know, in the reviews, people were pissed off. $10 to park. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'll pay $10 to park. It's like 5 minutes down the road from my pickup. And they've got barbecue. And we show up. 3 of the truck parking spots have cars in them. So I send Lita in. I said, tell them we want to pay for parking, but there's cars parked in the spots. So she comes back out and she's like, those people have paid for that parking spots. So I don't know if they park their cars there while they're in their truck. I don't know. Maybe they pay a full-time. Maybe they got like a full-time deal where.
Those were truck drivers' cars.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. So maybe the truck drivers drive their car there and drop it off and pick up the truck, and they go out for the week or however long. I'm sure it's probably cheaper than maybe parking at some of these other places around Texas. So.
They pay for it.
But it's funny. She was like, "Oh yeah, they fired your driver." It's like they fired my driver. I think they were implying that South Georgia Hotshot fired me. That's impossible. If that's the case, I'm going home. Screw this.
Nobody called me.
So we'll be dropping in Stuart, Florida, Monday morning, and then depending on how bad my grandpa's doing, I might haul back up to the house, drop the trailer off, and just keep driving. I don't think we want to take the trailer. Honestly, I have the I was just going to take off the rest of the year because I'm not playing these games with these brokers and this cheap freight. I'll call my bank, defer my payments again, and which your banks will let you do that right now, guys. You guys don't have to be running this cheap freight. Call your banks, defer your payments. I think even Progressive is allowing you to defer your insurance, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Some people have said on the Facebook pages that their agents would let them do it. Some say they wouldn't. I have no idea. But defer your payments. You can push all your all these banks, they don't want to have to come repo everybody's stuff. You know, and they're talking about locking everything down again, and it's crazy. So,
you know, they're going to end up with a bunch of cars
yeah,
that people aren't going to get.
Exactly.
No one's going to buy because they don't know we're going to have
Yep.
any money.
We're headed for a big depression. That's for sure. And everybody's running out and buying trucks and trailers right now because they see these truck drivers driving around thinking they're making money. We made really good money right before Thanksgiving. Even running the East Coast, I was making really good money. I just couldn't seem to line up like my pickup and my drop-off times. It was like, you know, these shippers and receivers stop loading and unloading at like 2 o'clock, and you'd get there at like 3 o'clock, and you'd have to wait till the next day. It's just a pain in the butt. Like, what about this place?
They stop unloading and loading at 9 in the morning.
Oh, really?
That's what it is.
7 to 9? But he said that they open up at 6.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
Well, just because they open doesn't mean receiving should be receiving.
I don't know. We've had a hell of a time here in Texas, I'm not going to lie. Nobody knows how to drive. The roads are rough. I think we accidentally drove onto a toll road, and I didn't have my battery in my Easy Pass. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I get a bill in the mail with my license plate number. I have no idea. So we may never be allowed back in Texas again. I don't know. All right, let me get off here. We're going to keep walking. Well, it's kind of dark now. Been in the truck editing for a couple hours now. They let us pull over here off to the side till the morning. So we'll see you guys then.